What's up, guys? We are going to talk about this because this is crazy. Last Epoch, after their absolutely abysmal roadmap, which basically, uh, it literally said nothing. We finally got this update. Okay, so here's the updated roadmap. I'm going to pull this up so you guys can read it. Let me move my face a little bit here. There you go. But basically, season 4. Okay, we're going to get seasonal mechanic, omen windows. We're going to get echo chains, corrupted items, corrupted altars, uh, new rogue skill, blade storm expanded to full skill, rogue and spellblade updates, primalist animation overhaul, and rogue animation update. Now, that sounds great. Should be coming out the next week or so, right? Because they're at the 4-month mark. So are they coming out right before Christmas? Are they coming out between Christmas and New Year's? No. This is where it gets bananas. Let's watch. You see anything here that looks a little sus? March. The end of March. Not even March 1. The end of March. That means that after they took basically what was the second season where they introduced webs? It was like 5-6 months, something like that, to release a season, and then they said, hey, moving forward we want to do it in 3 to 4 months, and then literally the following season they had the dinosaur season. I don't know if that counts, all right, but like 8 months. It's going to take you 8 months to release a season. You just sold your company to a massive company, and now it's going to take you 8 months to put out a season. I'm going to go out on a limb here, guys. Now, I'm here's the positive. Okay, I am going to do some positive on this. Okay, there is a silver lining, maybe a silver lining. The second season with the webs was really good, right? Season 3, very much a dud. Everyone can kind of agree with that. Like, you could tell they didn't put in really any real content, right? Like, it wasn't that good of a season. Everybody kind of said that. It was obviously, there was the huge debacle between them and GGG of who was going to release what. But this is, whatever studio bought them, this is the worst thing that they could have done. Because essentially, what they should have done, and I've talked about this in other videos, if you're going to sell your soul, or not your soul, but you're going to sell your company, you're going to lose your control somewhat, right? Because at the end of the day, you're no longer the boss. Like, if I sell one of my gyms to somebody else, I can tell them what we think we should do all the time, but at the end of the day, it's their problem, right? Not mine, it's theirs. So I can give as much advice as I want, I can go through as much experience as I want, but they ultimately make the decision. So you have to look at the company that just bought them, not technically EHG. But I gotta tell you guys, even if the omen windows are ridiculous, right? Like, even if it's so good, right? Which, if you look at it and you've watched it, and I've read this prior, it's essentially a mixture of the thing in Diablo 4, like the Hellfire totems and Breach, right? That's basically what it is. It's basically a combination of those two things. From the looks of it, is a combination of Breach and then those totems from Diablo 4. That shouldn't take 8 months. That seems very simple. Now, again, what they did in season 2, I'll give them this, is they took a concept and made it really good, right? Like, it expanded the end game. It made a lot of different things. It made farming certain things easier. It gave you more paths. It gave you some cooler stuff in the game. This doesn't look that difficult to make, right? Like it really doesn't. Sorry about that. This looks very simple, very straightforward. So the problem that I have, and this is what I think is going to happen, is they're adding corruption, which is awesome, right? Like, so basically you can brick an item, which I think is great because there's already Gamba. I think this will make pushing to that next level of endgame even crazier. The corruption levels, I think when you get somebody who gets goaded corruption gear, the ability for them is just going to be out of this world. The power is going to be insane, which is really cool. I think this will be a cool season. But you cannot, guys, you cannot take 8 months to do that. You just can't. Okay? They're adding a bunch of really cool stuff for the end game that looks great. They're adding skills that look great. They're adding quality of life to the game that look great. You have to be able to do that in 4 months max. Like, here's the problem. You have Diablo 4, and I'm going to use them because they're kind of the laughing stock of the ARPG industry at this point, right? Like, they are the meme. I would rather have 3 crappy seasons from Diablo 4 than 1 good season a year with Last Epoch. Because if you think about this timeline, okay, like let's go back up here and look. Season 4, 8 months. Okay, so you have till March. That means season 5, April, May, June, July, August, September, maybe October, maybe November, maybe, which means season 5, which means you're not getting this expansion until 2027. And you're going to get 2 seasons in between there. And I'm sorry if you were already cash starved and you were already selling pieces of your company to sustain cash flow, and then it takes you 8 months to put out a season, you should take your check, Judd. Take your check. Run, run, run. Don't give away bonuses. Don't get like cut costs because your game's done. Your game's done at 8 month seasons. You are not going to be a legitimate game with all of everything you've already accomplished. This is ruining your game. Because people now have to take the average of what you've done because now you have a body of work. Okay? If you have a season where you screw up, no one cares. That's fine. You've added enough goodwill. But this is unacceptable. And the reason it's unacceptable is very simple. Because now we have a body of work. We have a 5 month, a 9 month, a 5 month, and then a 8 month season. So your average season release is like 6-7 months. So even if we take the average of 6, that's going to be September, which means you're still not getting the expansion until 2027. And in that amount of time, let's look at it this way. So if you go 8 months and 6 months and then 6 more months to the expansion, that's 20 months. That's 10 seasons that GGG will put out between PoE 1 and PoE 2. They will gobble the player base. They will release PoE 2 1.0 before Last Epoch's expansion. That's like, I would bet my mortgage on that. I would bet my house on that. Path of Exile 1.0 comes out before Last Epoch gets an expansion out. They might release 1.0 before Season 5 comes out. I don't know if I'd put my money on that, but it's possible. Guys, you can't do this. Like, whoever's in charge over there, you can't do this. You're like, this puts you at the bottom of the list, even though your game is not bottom of the list. So if you have, okay, let's do this. Let's do the old trusty paint. Okay, if you have a tier list, let's back fill it real quick. Hang on. All right, here we go. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's rank all the major ARPGs. Okay, we can easily, you know what, I'm gonna do this in a text box so that I don't look like a complete fool. Okay, you have PoE 1. Nobody's gonna argue with that. It is goated. It is the GOAT. Here, currently, because we're not releasing, okay, this is current rankings. Obviously, PoE 2, I'm super excited about. I'm going to do another video about that right after this video. I'm so excited for PoE 2, but they didn't put out what they said they were going to put out, which is the endgame patch. Okay, they did not do that. So, because of that, Torchlight Infinite is number 2. If you haven't played Torchlight Infinite, yes, it has a pay to win mechanic. I understand that. That is in the cons column of this game. But I will tell you what, the amount of endgame, the amount of progression, the ease of play, the symmetry of just picking stuff up, going through the speed of the game. If you like Diablo 3, PoE 1, if you like those types of games, this game is number 2. It is unequivocal. It's not close. It has the most endgame, the most systems, the most like it's a great game. I love Torchlight Infinite. It's so good. Okay, if you haven't played it, go pick up the new season. Everything's cheap right now. The season's been out for a long time, but they put out seasons all the time, right? And it's a good game. There is a pay to win aspect to it. Do you need to pay to win to play it? No, you don't. Is there a pay to win aspect though? 100%. Is that a huge con? Yes. 100%. Pay to win, I don't believe in. However, it's not like Diablo Immortal pay to win, right? Like this is nowhere near that level. Okay, so just FYI, and it's a free to play game with a pay to win gotcha microtransaction thing, right? So you're not paying for the upfront product either. So that's kind of why I put it at number 2, is because yes, there is this Winosisi. I don't have Discord, buddy. But if you want to message me on Instagram, it's Aaron Nash 20 anytime. Okay. Anyway, guys, back to my video. So I will talk to you after this video, buddy. Torchlight Infinite's number 2. PoE 2 is number 3. PoE 2, if they would have released their endgame patch this time around and we would have been able to play it, I think PoE 2 has the potential to go to number 1. Okay, I think PoE 1 is they're using it more as a maintenance phase. Yeah, so PoE 2 right now is the third best ARPG on the market, and it's in beta. Keep that in mind. It is in beta. It is about to release 0.4. 0.4. The Druid looks absolutely fantastic. The graphics in the game are fantastic. The endgame systems that they've added with Abyss and with Vol coming up look fantastic. Okay? If the endgame rework is great, this game could shoot to number 1 on patch day. That's how good it has the potential to dwarf everything on this list. It could be that good. Okay? Here's where you get into the debate now, because last Epoch, when season 0.2 came out, I think was number 2. I think it was number 2. It had all the potential in the world, has the best crafting system of any game. The loot filter is incredible. The end game was a little lackluster. The leveling experience, fantastic leveling experience. It's got some gamba. It's got a ton of uniques. The skill trees are fantastic. Like last Epoch has such a great core game. Here's the problem now. When you're going to put out 6 to 8 month seasons, D4. Because at least with D4, we know what we're going to get. We know on launch day, servers are going to work flawlessly. We know this. They rarely have a server problem on launch day. D4 is probably the smoothest launch of any game on seasonal release of every game on this list. Okay, it just is. However, we know that the D4 season is going to be powers. It's going to let you down. It's not going to be great, but they're going to give you new shit, and none of it's going to go core, which is blows my mind, right? None of it's going to go core. It's all like the fact that Foulborn, or not Foulborn, the uniques system that they put out isn't going core is nuts to me. With the way that they did the new uniques in the last season, I thought was by far the best system they've ever released. It made the game way more fun. It made loot chasing an actual thing in the end game, so you didn't just go, okay, I made it to Torment 3, now what? Like there's no reason to go higher. There's no benefit to go higher, right? Like, and obviously you can crush Torment 4 super easy on most classes, but that's beside the point. So there's no new builds. Like it's just kind of shit, right? But every 3 months you're going to get a season. Now you're going to pay money for every expansion, but they're going to come out with a new expansion every year because they want more money. And us pay piggies, we're going to stand there with our hand up and say, "Take my money, take my money." Right? Like D4 just moved out of the last spot with this announcement, and now you guys went from number 2 to number 5, and I don't think it's close. You have a better game than D4 for sure. Better core game. Better core game than D4, hands down. But when you don't get an update more than you're going to get one update a year, basically, like in a calendar year, we've gotten really like one update from these guys. Like it's very disheartening. It's not good. They it looks bad. They've sold twice. Uh, they're talking about bringing in paid classes, which I think is the wrong way to do added money. I think they're microtransactions. Like, perfect example. If you watched my last video about last Epoch, I talked about how their microtransaction store sucks and how they have so much fucking time before they release a season. How are you not making microtransactions that accentuate your season? And then literally the next day on Path of Exile 2's launch, what did they do? They told you, hey, we have microtransactions for when you shift into a bear. They put Diablo in their game before Diablo put Diablo in their game. Like they have microtransactions set up for some of the different new things that are coming out. Why? Because when there's new cool shit, people will buy cool shit for the new cool shit to make their new shit look even cooler. Because there's nothing better if you're putting out white Ferraris and then all of a sudden there's a white Ferrari with a unicorn on it. The unicorn's cool, right? Because everyone has the white Ferrari. It's like, the white Ferrari's only cool until everybody has one. My Ferrari has the unicorn on it, right? And this is how people buy. This is what they do. They want to be unique, special little snowflakes. So the microtransactions are a way to do that. They have done a piss poor job at making money in this game. And this is not helping them at all. What they should have done is they should have even like their last season was half baked and shit, but what they should do is release another half baked shitty season that has like there's no way that this breach mechanic that they made is that complicated, that it takes that long to make. It does not take 8 months to make a breach mechanic or a hellfire totem mechanic from D4. It doesn't take that long. If it does, your developers suck. I don't know what else to tell you. Your devs suck. And I don't think they suck because you've made a great core game. So what that tells me is that you don't understand the urgency of the space that you're in, which is why, to be honest, you may fall off the list completely and your company will probably dissolve and it will be a bad investment for the company who bought you because people will come back and play when the season comes out because the content's free and they've already prepaid for the game. And it might even be really good. And you might have a 2-week spike where people just crush and they pay you a bunch of money. But it's not going to touch these other games. And the problem is when you're running against these big boys, you have speed is your ally. Speed is your maneuverability. Speed is your advantage as a small guy going against a big guy. These other companies are aircraft carriers, right? Like Blizzard is the Death Star. It takes so long for it to get in position, right? You've got aircraft carriers in GGG. You're a little speedboat. You can maneuver, you can pivot, you can do things, and all you got to do is open the office door and say, "Hey guys, we're going to do this because they're doing that, and we're going to make this way better. We need to do it ASAP. Let's go. This is how we're going to get better. This is how we're going to gain an advantage." Close the office door, go to work. These guys have interdepartmental memos. They have to do all these things. They have to get approval. They have to do all this shit. And you've lost your competitive advantage as a business, which is speed. And so now you're moving slower than the big guys. they're actually faster than you. They're faster than you and they're better than you. And I just think this was such a bad idea by by EHG. I think this is such a terrible, terrible thing. I think it will ruin their company. Right? Clip this. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I do like the game. I think they do a phenomenal job. I think their core game is fantastic. Like I've praised this game. I want this game to win. I pay money every season. I buy one of the seasonal packs to help support this game. I don't care about that. I want to support companies who I enjoy their games. I want to support EHG, but this is going to kill them. This is going to kill them. You can't put out 8-month seasons, guys. You can't do it. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm being an a-hole? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.